Hi, I'm Ellie, and this is your weekly theatre news recap, the show where I recap news from theatre weekly. Do I really need to explain the concept to you? I feel like it's pretty obvious. Yes, we're going to recap the past week's West End and UK theatre touring news for you, and if you would like to stay up to date with all things theatre news from the UK, make sure you hit subscribe because I do these every single week, and also like it because I like a high number of likes because it makes me feel good. Well, let's dive in, as we always do, starting with our casting news. First up, the long-anticipated cast for Titanic came out this week, and my lord, this is a good cast. Oh, I am so ready for this transfer. We got some great names in here. So, starring in the show will be Darren Bennett as Victor Garber / Luigi. Lauren Drew will be starring as the icon, the legend, Celine Dion. Jordan Luke Gage will be starring as Cal. Stephen Guarino will be playing Ruth. They were also in the cast of Titanic in New York, apparently. Rob Houchen will be playing Jack. Kate Ronnie will be playing Rose. Charlotte Wakefield will be playing Molly. And Leighton Williams will be playing the Iceberg. Great casting, so many fantastic names in here. If I wasn't already excited for this transfer, I am now even more excited. And I cannot wait to see it when it comes to the West End, to the Criterion Theatre this December. Next up, we have some ensemble members announced for the importance of being earnest. They will join the already announced star-studded cast, including Ncuti Gatwa and the legend Sharon D. Clarke. But the ensemble members joining the show will be Sharina Brown, Jasmine Kerr, Gillian McCafferty, Elliot Pritchard, and John Vernon. The Importance of Being Earnest is playing at the National. Tickets are very difficult to get. I'm going to have to try and enter their weekly Friday rush to try and get some tickets, because I need to see Mr. Ncuti Gatwa on stage. That is the Doctor, and I'm a big Doctor Who fan. You know me. I've got to go support Doctor Who stars on stage. I'm trying for Macbeth. It's hard to get tickets for Macbeth. I'm trying, okay? Next up, we have an announcement from the Shakespeare's Globe, specifically for their Sam Wanamaker Playhouse. And this is the cast for All's Well That Ends Well, playing there from the 8th of November to the 4th of January. Starring in this show will be Catherine Aaron as Widow, Ruby Bental as Helen, Emilio Dorga-Singe as LeFou, Richard Katz as the King of France, Caroline Maroney in the ensemble, Georgia May Myers as Diana, Kwame Odum as Dumaine, Siobhan Redmond as the Countess, William Robinson as Perose, Sachin Keswama in the ensemble, Adam Wadsford as Morgan, and Kit Young as Bertram. So you want to catch a little bit of All's Well That Ends Well, a little bit of Shakespeare, a little bit of comedy Shakespeare, in the Sam Wanamaker Playhouse. You can go and catch it starting from the 8th of November. Next up, we're heading up. We're going up. Getting out of London. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Go up to the Royal Exchange Theatre, where we have the cast announced for their festive show this year, the musical Spend, Spend, Spend. Running there from the 23rd of November to the 11th of January. So perfectly timed for the season. Rachel Leskovac will be playing Viv. Rose Galbraith will be playing young Viv. Rebecca Thornhill will be playing Viv's mother. Alex James Hatton will be playing Keith. Joe Alessi will be playing George. And LeJohn Shepherd will be playing Johnny. So you want to catch any of these performers, you can go catch them in Spend, 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 a show that's really fun to say. Next up, we have a quick casting update from the UK tour of Chicago, where it has been announced that pop star Sanita will be returning to play the role of Mama Morton. Sanita will be Mama Morton in Bradford from the 21st of October and in Stoke from the 25th of November. So if you want to catch Sanita covering the role for Brenda Edwards on these two tour stops, you can go and check her out then. Next up, we have the full cast and ensemble announced for Kinky Boots. Obviously, we already know our leading cast members, and now we have the rest of the cast. Joining the company for this show will be Newton Matthews, who'll be playing Lola at certain performances, and when not performing as Lola, will be playing the role of Simon Sr. We have Cara Lily Hayworth as Nicola. Joe Caffrey as Don, Catherine Barnes as Pat, Lucy Williamson as Trish, Jonathan Dryden Taylor as Mr. Price, and Scott Page as George, as well as Liam Doyle, who is playing Harry. Great casting there, fantastic. This is going to be a great UK tour of Kinky Boots, I feel. If this cast, This cast is casting, and I love that. We also have Ensemble for the show, who will be in the description down below. All the Ensemble members that I don't cover in this video will be in the description. Make sure you check it out to get the full list of Ensemble members for all of these shows. Next up, we have A Christmas Carol, the musical. Joining Claire Moore will be Josie Benson, Alexander Evans, James Hume, Barry Keenan, Matthew Jeans, Mary McGinley, Marinella Phillips, and Chomba S. Tarlow. We also have an ensemble who are in the description down below, as always. This will be playing at the Lowry's Keys Theatre for a Christmas season from the 6th of December to the 5th of January 2025. So if you want to catch A Christmas Carol with a musical twist, you can go and catch it then. Two final casting stories for this week. We next up have Now That's What I Call a Musical, who have announced an extra guest star for the show. Singer-songwriter Toya Wilcox will be joining the show as one of their guest stars. They will be appearing in the show at the Edinburgh Playhouse from the 25th of February 2025. As well as this, we have an extension from one of the previously announced stars of this show, one of the previously announced guest stars, as Sonia has added performances in the Manchester Opera House from the 28th of January and the Glasgow King's Theatre from the 18th of February. So if you want to catch those guest stars, you can go and catch the show at those various UK locations. And finally, in casting news this week, we had the first little tidbit of casting for the Percy Jackson musical, The Lightning Thief. And starring as Percy Jackson himself will be star of the Everybody's Talking About Jamie film and Stranger Things The First Shadow, Max Harwood. So if you want to catch Harwood as Percy Jackson, you can catch this musical at the Other Palace in London from the 23rd of November 2024. It's going to be really interesting to see this musical in a new version. Hopefully it's going to be just as magical as the off-Broadway one. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And that's it for our casting news this week. Let's move on to concerts and events, where last week we had about 50 million. This week we've got one. And that is West End Christmas in Oz. This is going to Cadogan Hall. West End Does Christmas is doing a lovely little Wizard of Oz and Wicked twist to their casting. The lineup, some of these people have been previously announced, but I'll list them all again. The lineup now includes Louise Dearman, Sophie Evans, Alice Fern, Oliver Thompson, Liam Tamney, and Claudia Karayuki. Hosting the event will be Rob Houchin and Matt Lucas. So if you want to catch this concert, you can catch it at Cadogan Hall on Sunday, the 1st of December 2024, with two performances, a matinee at 2:30 and an evening at 6:30. That's it for concerts and events news this week. We can now move on to the single piece of miscellaneous news this week, which is that Come Alive, the Greatest Showman themed circus show, has extended in London to the 30th of March 2025, so you've got longer to catch that show. Now we can move on to the final section of the video, transfers and productions. Now, this was the week to announce seasons. On a good week, I don't normally cover like an entire season. I feel like it's a lot. I normally will like leave a link in the description and tell you, you can go and check out the full season and pull out the really cool shows. This week, the Park Theatre, the Lyric Hammersmith Theatre, and Wilton's Music Hall all announced new seasons. But I will run you through very quickly some of the shows announced for the seasons. Let's start with the Lyric Hammersmith. We are getting a new contemporary version of Ghost, the play by Henrik Ibsen, from the 10th of April to the 10th of May 2025. Moving on from that, we are also getting a adaptation of the novel Marriage Material, staged from the 22nd to the 23rd. Staged from the 22nd to the 21st of June. And there will also be a new version of Dracula, perfectly in time for Halloween, but also just missing Halloween. So I guess it's a show that kind of warms you up for Halloween, running at the Lyric Hammersmith from the 11th of September to the 11th of October. I really like these spans of exactly 1 month in the theatre. That's very neat and tidy. But the most exciting show is a new version of the Sing Street musical. This will be the third show in their season, running at the Lyric Hammersmith through their summer season from the 8th of July to the 23rd of August 2025. Now, this is a musical that premiered on Broadway. It didn't really have a very strong Broadway run. I think it got cut off by COVID. And when theatres opened up again, I think Sing Street was a show that didn't reopen, if I'm correct. This is based on the beloved John Carney film, set in Dublin. Previously had productions, as mentioned, on Broadway and in Boston. And this will not be a direct transfer of the version that was on Broadway. It's the same musical, but this will be a new version. Think very similarly to how they brought over Newsies, how they brought over Next to Normal. It's the same musical, it's the same book, songs, but it's not the same production, direction, staging. Seeing as they didn't get to play out their full Broadway run, we're assuming that this will be another strong moment for Sing Street to make a name for itself as a musical. I'm expecting a lot of rewrites to that material, a lot of new work being done to it from the lessons they learned from their short period on Broadway, before sadly the pandemic scuppered those. But this is really exciting to see it come over here. And I can't wait to see it next year. That is a really exciting season. Quickly running through the Parks Theatre season. This is a theatre in North London. We're getting a show called Carousel, a theatre show by Ivor Graham, which initially premiered at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. This will run there from the 14th to 25th of January. Then we are getting a play called The Gift, running from the 22nd of January to the 1st of March. A dark comedy about a man who receives a mysterious package. We are getting a new version of the Greek tragedy Antigone, this time being dubbed as Antigone on Strike, playing from the 30th of January to the 22nd of February. From the 6th of March to the 12th of April, we are getting Farewell Mr. Halfman, having its London premiere following a season at the Theatre Royal Bath. And from the 2nd to the 26th of April, we are getting a return of Jayne McDermott's play Jab, a black comedy exploring a couple's relationship during COVID-19. And finally, for this season, from the 16th of April to the 24th of May, we have How to Fight Loneliness, an examination of a relationship that is put under strain. So, some really exciting shows. This is our first lot of shows for 2025, more to be announced soon. And the final season is Wilton's Music Hall. They have announced so many shows that I do not have the bandwidth to discuss in this video in its proper detail, so I will leave a link in the description so you can check out all the shows that they have newly announced from January to April. That is all of the new seasons announced this week. Let's move on to the Old Vic, where we have another show announced for next year. This is the world premiere of The Brightening Air, a play written by Olivier Award winner Conor McPherson. This is a show set in 1980s Ireland and follows a family's life disrupted by the arrival of an ex-clergyman uncle, a sister-in-law seeking a miracle, and a prodigal brother hell-bent on trouble. This will be playing at the Old Vic from the 10th of April to the 12th of June 2025. So if I'm correct with the time spans in my mind, this will be playing at this theatre after Oedipus, the second version of Oedipus, not the one at the Wyndhams, the one that's going to the Old Vic, because we have many Oedipi. Very exciting, but finally, for news this week, we have a big announcement. For the second time, Matilda is going back on a UK tour. It's been quite a while since we've seen Matilda head across the UK, and next year it will be celebrating a big anniversary, and we have an initial set of tour dates to celebrate this. The tour will start at the Curve Leicester from the 6th to the 25th of October. Then we'll go on to Bradford from the 30th of October to 23rd of November. Liverpool Empire from the 2nd of December to the 4th of January 2026. This is far in the future. Then the Theatre Royal Plymouth from the 13th of January to the 7th of February 2026. Sunderland Empire from the 11th to the 28th of February 2026. Edinburgh Playhouse from the 4th to the 22nd of March 2026. And the Manchester Palace Theatre from the 26th of March to the 25th of April 2026. As you can tell, we've got quite a long wait for this Matilda UK tour, but it's still playing in London. It will still be playing in London while this tour goes touring. And more tour stops will be announced very soon, I'm sure. And that is everything. That is all of your theatre news for the week. What are you most looking forward to? What are you most excited for? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now and a link to my Instagram if you'd like to drop me a follow over there. I also have other social links and a merch store in the description down below. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.